Greetings, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. You saw nothing, and we are here for another episode of Unsung. The 10th episode, to be exact, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's exact.
Yes.
That being said, if you guys want to donate to the show, to encourage the death or life of one flying monk, please check in that donation section down below for all the fun things you can donate for. As always, we are here with our amazing cast of crew. We have Chelsea, a.k.a. Little Red Dot. We have Sam the Wizened Fool. We have John Helvers, one of the editors for the game. And of course, we have Johnny, Video Store Cowboy. With that, I will turn things over to Johnny to take us away into those very skies of Axia.
Well, so I'm going to read this recap, and I'm going to read it real slow because I'm expecting what to happen next is we're going to lose a player. So, I want to make Sam's time in the game.
Can we clarify?
As long as possible.
Can we clarify that we're going to lose a character and not a player?
Oh, no.
We're not killing Sam.
It's not a hitman. It's about to be trash.
This is the Running Man version of tabletop.
Yeah.
When you die for real.
You die for real.
It's Uber Eats, but for assassins. I'm just going to dial.
This is what we signed up for.
Quickly dial M for
Battle
murder over
Royale
here.
style. Last person standing is going to win, so.
Yikes.
All right, guys, let's get started.
Sure.
Previously on Unsung, as Adriel came into view through the viewport of the Drake, the situation looked grim. The group had extracted the hearth crystal from the body of a gigantic floating worm in the northern azure. They had faced down slaughterfish and psychotic chasers in the process and made their way back to Adriel. But what they found upon their return shocked them. Gigantic airships were attacking the chains that connected Gelspar to the rest of Adriel. As the Drake flew in, the group watched as the links of one of the chains were torn apart by airship cannons. All of Gelspar began to tilt in the direction of the fallen chain, and the airships began to move to the next one. Red shifts into action and pilots the Drake directly towards Gelspar at Nalis's direction. Evading the oncoming attack from a duo of smaller airships, Red moves the Drake towards Starlight Commons. Aiding Red in his attempt, Cathbad calls upon the wind to push the airship faster and faster. Pursuing airships close in, but Talon, manning the turret-mounted cannon on the Drake, is able to remove the source of annoyance. When more airships move in to pursue, Nalis recommends a new plan. Crash the airship into the monument for the Gelspar crystal. But when Red does his job too well, Nalis is forced to make a desperate call. He pushes the crystal out the hole left from the crash and rides it down to the monument. Red, realizing the situation is precarious, makes one last effort to give Nalis the time he needs to get the crystal secured in place. As Talon and Cathbad jump to their safety on a rooftop, Red makes his own desperate choice and pushes the Drake to its limits. The gigantic airship above them is moving into position to make an attack. Gaining a great deal of speed, he pilots the Drake in a desperate effort to ram the gigantic airship. Unfortunately, Red is unable to jump to safety before the Drake gains a significant altitude. Placing his fate in the hands of the gods, he jumps from the rear cargo door. As we fade in, Gelspar is dark and beautiful below Red as he falls toward his fate.
I said to my fellow cast members after the show ended last week, I sent them Red's thoughts as all of this was going down. I figured I'd share them with everybody. I think like his thoughts is like he's like running up to the railing. He's like planting off. He's like, I'm okay with this. It's all right. It's fine. I'm okay with this. And then we just like he jumps off, just looks straight down at the ground and just. Nope, never mind. I changed my mind. I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay. So yeah, I mean, Red's falling. Is there anything below me that is like other than the ground that I would have even any chance of maybe being able to like grab onto or?
Let me set the scene as we saw it before. When Red made the jump, we pulled sort of the proverbial camera back, and we saw both groups of Nalos and then Cathbad and Talon kind of looking out and up at the airship as it began to make its climb, and we saw Red beginning to make his fall. Below him and pursuing that airship, trying to prevent it from actually doing, what Red had designed it to do, which is to ram the gigantic airship, the galleon-sized airship that is hovering sort of above, part of the urban setting that is Gelspar. Those airships are in pursuit and at a place or an angle where, if Red is incredibly lucky or incredibly skilled at skydiving and over short distances, he's able to angle himself, right there. So what does Red really want to do here?
Not die is the main thing that is on his mind.
You jumped from a moving aircraft.
Look, sometimes you make decisions in the moment that prove to not be correct.
To be clear, though, to be fair to Red, he jumped from a crashing aircraft.
It was about to be a non-working airship. So
okay, so he jumped from a falling aircraft.
Impacting aircraft.
So what I think I would like to do, I realize that it's kind of an out of the frying pan and into the fryer sort of situation to land right onto the enemy airship. But I think that's kind of my only choice. So I think Red is going to try to use his many cloaks and robes to try to catch as much of the wind as he can, Batman style.
When did you become an air elemental monk?
Yeah, I think just a minute ago, at the end of last episode.
He actually binge watched Avatar the entire week.
Hands together like this and create a ball right around his feet, and he's just gonna be fine. So he's gonna try to do his best and angle himself towards this airship, and hopefully he'll be able to catch a rope and slide down like a cool airship pirate. But more likely he'll die horribly. So
splat.
Oh, do we see him falling?
Oh yeah, I mean, he's up there, he's angled up there, and you see him coming out, and it's all happening in slow motion for all of you.
I look at Talon and go, "Can he fly?"
Nope, that's gonna hurt.
I start running on foot, trying to get Catman's dodging people and debris, and she's trying to get under Red, if at all possible. Though I know it's quite a ways away.
Okay, so as Cathbad is making pursuit, Talon, Nalos, why don't you guys tell me what you guys are going to do or thinking about doing, or if you're just going to watch the show?
I'm gonna shake my head.
Watch the show.
Well, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna shake my head and head after Cathbad. So any more trouble than we've already probably gotten into. So I'm just okay, because we're a good, must be a quarter mile away from.
Oh yeah, she won't make it.
At least.
I feel like I'm not with them, right?
You're riding the crystal.
Yeah, I'm on the crystal.
You're securing the crystal, but you see all the activity happen as the crystal sort of seats itself into the top of the sort of the mounting on the monument, and you hear and see all of the commotion as airships are flying past you in pursuit of the Drake.
Yeah, I know that there's a shitload of chasers on Gelspar, and I don't want to leave this crystal. I love you, Red, but I'm sorry, man. I have to defend this fucking crystal, or this whole thing was for no reason at all.
I imagine you sitting on it like a giant egg.
Yeah.
Arms folded.
Is that the old crystal, or is that the one that's in?
It's the new one.
New one.
Well, remember when Red rammed the monument, the top of the monument at Nalos's request, the old crystal went flying out of it, basically.
Yeah. Right? And then I jumped off the back with the new one
in.
I did. I wrote it down.
Out of the back of the ship. He's writing it down.
It's positioned.
Yeah.
Okay. But it just hasn't hit. It hasn't gotten in yet.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I stay there. I have to defend this crystal.
Okay. So we will resolve sort of the elements of this, and we'll start going through all the various things that you guys are seeing afterwards. So Red, buddy, I'm gonna say that this happens all in sort of a split second where you make a decision about how you're going to survive this while you're thinking about all of this as you make a commitment, you start to fall, that inner monologue really happens. And then that's when you decide, as you're beginning to make that fall, how you're going to try to survive this. So you describe these robes and just kind of trying to get them to catch wind and sort of catch some sort of updraft or slow your fall in some way. What kind of a role is this?
I was thinking maybe like acrobatics. Like basically the reason I'm thinking is like trying to like maneuver in the air and like hopefully not die on impact with other airship. Like I'm gonna have to like grab something to like do some flippies maybe to ease up the momentum. Like there's gonna be some real I was thinking athletics or acrobatics, because either way there's gonna be some like real like pure like strength I think involved in just like not like losing an arm as you like try to grab something from free fall. But there's also probably a good deal of like acrobatic aspect like in the whole I don't know. I don't really know how to dissect those two skills that well in general, but
I'm thinking that you're right about acrobatics. So, but because you've got a 14, you're pretty much guaranteed to solve this, except that you've never fallen like this before. If you can give me a reason why you don't deserve disadvantage here, whether it's some backstory element of red or there's some sort of reason. Otherwise, I think acrobatics at a disadvantage makes sense.
Look, so you know me, Johnny. I'm the kind of player that loves to spout a bunch of BS for why they should have X, Y, and Z advantage. But I think if there's any time that somebody should have disadvantage, it's probably when they're free falling from an airship trying to catch onto another airship. So I'm just gonna roll with disadvantage.
I'm really glad that you're at least you're honest and you're gonna accept that.
You're such a genuine. What a kind-hearted human you are.
Like I gotta call him like I see him. Like if there's any time.
All right. So please make us that acrobatics roll at disadvantage.
All right.
And I swear to God, if you succeed at this, is going to be hilarious.
Come on.
I hope he does, just because it's so ridiculous. Did you just?
God.
Oh, I saw the 1 at first. I thought you'd not won it, and I was like, "That's perfect."
Red.
All right, so I'm imagining something, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm imagining, and then Red, I'd like you to narrate for us what it's like when you actually descend and land on one of these airships. But I'm imagining like from I think it was either episode 1 or episode 3, one of the times that one of the Jedi decide that they're falling an incredibly long distance. It's sort of this like swirling sort of whirling of robes, and then they land where they need to land. So please just tell me.
I think that's like pretty perfect. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. The speeder chasing Coruscant, and so Red's like kind of like trying to get as much of his momentum down as he can. His robes and scarves and cloaks are flapping in the wind all over the place, and I think he like reaches and grabs like probably like gets like a piece of sail and rope and like does this like wild like spinning motion around to like lose momentum. Probably skins the crap out of his hand, but it's like at least he's not dying.
It reminds me of that scene from Aeon Flux where she tries to jump into the thing and she like slides down a big old white ribbon and she's like falling from the eye. That's all I can imagine, which is terrifying. But
that's like perfect. Terrifying. That's perfect. Yeah, he's just like scrabbling. Like I think he like makes it like look kind of okay from the ground, but from his position, it is wild and uncontrolled, and he is barely hanging on for dear life. And he hits the deck, and it's just like looks up at the sky, and it's just like, oh, thank God, thank all of the gods. Oh my God, oh. And like looks around and like realizes that he's on a deck of an enemy ship, and yeah.
Okay, so as you're coming around, you're able to swing up, and you're able to swing on top of the deck or on top of the top of this airship, and this airship is actually angled up, chasing the Drake. And so you're able to just kind of grab on. You're closing your eyes, for a second, and you're thanking the gods. And you open them up again, and you realize that the Drake is still pointed towards the other airship and is just about to hit. And these two are pursuing, and that's when we're going to cut to Nalos. So you're securing.
Good, great.
Yes. This is one of those action sequences.
Okay.
So you're now the Gelspar, sort of the new hearth crystal has seated itself sort of just an off angle a little bit in the mounting structure, and your attention is grabbed as you're looking over at the airships that are screaming up, and you watch and you see Red fall from the Drake and do this amazing sort of acrobatic motion and hold on for dear life onto another airship. And as you're marveling at this, a noise catches your ears, catches you from towards the ground, and you see that there are various shadows moving towards you.
You can't even say I'm surprised anymore. They're moving towards me. Do I see what they are? Or are they just shadows? So where am I sitting on top of the crystal right now? I'm also
assuming you're sitting on top of the crystal in Gelspar Commons on top of the mount.
And also, how tall is this situation? Like, where's the ground in comparison?
About 20 feet below you is the ground.
Okay, that's a jumpable distance.
Is it?
It's like a break one leg jump.
Yeah.
Not like all your.
Red just made a jump from one ship to another.
Thank you.
The
It's a
standard of jumping in this game has just gone up.
Yeah, that's a jumpable 20 feet. A jumpable distance.
That's a fair point.
Raise that bar.
Yeah.
You make a good point.
I've been mostly consumed by a worm, and then I've been flown into a different worm. 20 feet's a jumpable distance.
And when you fumble that roll, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
I'm gonna fumble that roll. My acrobatics is like a fucking 4. So do I see what these things are moving towards me, or just shadows? I mean, 20 feet.
You see shadows. You see basically vaguely humanoid figures. It's kind of staying in the shadows, but they're beginning to move towards. And as the sort of the light of the new hearth crystal is beginning to sort of catch on them, you begin to see a reflective nature on the face, a white reflectiveness, sort of on the head, sort of in the face region, realizing that it's more than likely chasers.
Cool. That's what I expected it to be. Those are my favorite kind of people to deal with. Yeah, I'm gonna jump down there. I have no choice, man. I gotta get down there.
Okay.
So I'll give you some acrobatics rolls here.
I am not gonna say it's a disadvantage or anything else, and let's see what happens.
Cool. I fall.
Crunch.
So you don't necessarily fall.
I just don't stick the landing. I'm not an acrobat here.
You don't stick the landing. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And you end up falling into a garbage refuse.
Good. Why don't we just make this Star Wars?
Well, no, it's sort of like a garbage pile that's sort of like, kind of, up against the bottom of the monument.
Okay.
As before, when you were all in Starlight Commons before, it was described that it was a poorly maintained sort of area.
Yeah.
And it was only, through Kendrick Maddox and his, soldiers, his house guard and their, the hiring of the chasers that, sort of kept it at bay.
Yeah.
You see the chasers beginning to kind of move in towards you. And as you kind of fall in, you're kind of like not prone, but you're not able to kind of, react as quickly as you want to. You see that they're all beginning to brandish, different types of weapons, stabs, billy clubs. Some of them have blades.
Okay.
But they're approaching you cautiously. They're not sure what to make of the situation at this point.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, landing in a dumpster is fine. All of Gelspar is trash anyway, so what's the difference? I pick myself out of the trash if I am able to. And I stand, not that it's not a fucking cylindrical object, but I stand in front of the crystal and I pull out the polearm and the shield and just sort of like hunker down, like back against the crystal. And that's it. I don't say anything. I have no menacing quips for these people.
Okay. They continue to move forward and begin to surround the sort of the position of the monument itself with a concentration around you. And as they begin to move in, we cut to Cathbad and Talon running in the general direction of where they expected Red to fall. But as the both of you are running and you look up, you see that he, falls right onto an airship, onto the next airship, and is still continuing to shoot up. And the Drake is almost reached sort of like the
Drake
impact.
hasn't even crashed yet? Holy crap.
Yeah, you guys are right in the middle of all of this still.
Okay, Kath.
What?
Stop.
What?
He's okay. And that ship, if it comes down, we're going to get caught in the radius. We should probably get back to the crystal.
He's on board an enemy ship.
Well, okay, he's mostly okay. He'll be fine. It's Red. By the time they land, he'll have made friends with him and probably indoctrinate him into his cult or something. Who knows? Nalos probably could use our help, though.
This is sound logic. Oh, Nalos, right. He's sitting on the gym.
Last I saw, yeah. We should probably get back to the Starlight Commons and make sure no one else tries to rip it off again.
Oh. Yes, we should go save Nalos.
Indeed, exactly. So this way.
Yeah. She's like, that's a good idea. Everything that you said has been logical and sound. I agree.
I know I like Cathbad. All right, except for the saving Nalos part, but some things you just don't have a choice in. Anyways, so yes, we will try to start getting back to the commons.
Yeah.
As you begin to make your way back towards Starlight Commons, you notice a couple of things. There are various groups of residents of Gelspar who appear to be sort of huddling and scared, and there's crying and wailing coming from children, and they're all looking up and looking at you. And at one point, as you're kind of passing along, you see that there is a chaser who is intimidating a small group of them, what looks to be like a family unit of, a mother and father and a couple of children. And the chaser is, brandishing his billy club, and he's just threatening him to silence.
I changed my mask to mean mask. This is not going to stand.
Yeah. Do you want to, or shall I? Because he was looking over and it gets this very dark scowl forms on Talon's face as he's watching this punk.
So you both change your masks. It's just that.
Yeah.
Mean mask and mean mug.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I go.
I want to see the disappointed dad mask. I'm not mad at you.
Sometimes now.
Disappointed.
And Cathbad kind of steps over. She wants him to notice her, but she's not gonna push him or anything like that. I just want him to notice us in his space intimidatingly.
Okay, so as you begin to you get closer and closer.
Walking right up to him.
You hear a little bit of the exchange that's going on. He's basically threatening them. He's threatening them into silence, and that everything will be over soon. So they just need to shut up. And he notices a movement out of the corner of his eyes, and he looks over and he looks at the two of you, and he looks back at them, and he looks back the other direction, kind of assess as you were continuing to walk up. And he says, he basically says, "Fuck this," and starts to run.
I lift my mask. We did well.
That was a wise decision. Yeah.
Mean mask back on. This is working.
All I could see just now was Chelsea making that face, but as Catbat.
I toss the family 2 gold pieces and tell them to get out of here.
And as you do that,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Gelspar with the crystal, it's no longer fading. It's no longer tilting, is it? That's been.
Oh no, it's no longer listing. The moment that the airship began to to kind of hover over, the effect of the larger hearth crystal being fully charged or fully powerful just began to write things.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, just give them the 2 pieces and say, here, get the ground.
Run! I kind of buck at them.
And as you do that, the father, the mother grabs for the gold pieces, and the father grabs on a Cathbad. She says, "What's going on? Why are the chasers intimidating us? Why are there cannons?"
These are all questions I do not have time to answer. You must go home and lock your doors. Trust no chaser.
The chasers, they said this was coming, but nobody believed them. They said that they're finally making their move. I don't.
There's too much to explain. Just know that Maddox has saved you with a new crystal in the commons. that is the important thing you need to know now, is that you will be all right. So go before worse things happen.
We have to go protect the crystal. Now run!
Yeah, and we're taking off towards the commons again.
Yeah.
And the family kind of moves off to the side as we cut to Red continuing to make his ascent with this ship, kind of holding on for dear life as he's ascending. The Drake is about to hit. Do you want to do anything before that actually happens?
Do I see people?
You are able to see into the cockpit, yes, and you see that there are two chasers that are mounting. One is mounting the pilot's chair, and one is mounting the cannon that's front mounted on this thing. This is a much smaller ship than the Drake. It's designed to be fast and maneuverable.
Red is like, hey guys, that's pretty crazy that they stole my ship and threw me off of it. I think they're gonna crash it. Pretty crazy, huh?
They both, at your voice coming over the rushing of the wind, they both look up, out the cockpit sort of, canopy, and they look at you and they're like, how the hell did you get there? And the ship starts to veer off, away from, the pursuit, as they're both like kind of looking at you and they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's like I said, they threw me off of that other ship. And I'm lucky. I caught your sails, and really just an innocent fellow. I live down in what's the city called?
Gelspar.
No, I know this is in character.
Okay.
What's the city called? Gelspar. I live there. Just a regular old airship driver.
They're both looking at you as they're kind of, the ship is continuing to veer off. But how did you catch on? And as the ship begins to kind of list in such a way that it's beginning to make it really difficult for you to hold on.
Red's like, it'd be really good if you could not do that.
And at that moment, there is a gigantic explosion. What the four of you see from various angles is the Drake has now, collided directly with the side of the airship. There are, upon the initial impact, the Drake just crumples as it does, but its momentum carries most of its mass into the airship, causing the cannons to start to misfire. And at first, there's just a small explosion, and then there's some big explosions, and then it just completely explodes and shatters. But the explosion is really interesting because these giant airships have much larger hearth crystals than your average size airship. And so the debris is really beginning to kind of spread out at first as the fire sort of dissipates, and you see that there are bodies and people who are jumping out. Trying to get away, but it's sort of spreading and expanding above you.
But they won't land like Red did.
Why didn't he float?
We all need to be monks.
Oh, floating monks.
That's as good as mine.
This logic is sound. I'm sure Catbat's still running.
Yeah, we're having this conversation. We're jogging back.
Yeah, we're jogging back to Nalos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So as Cathbat and Talon come upon Starlight Commons, the explosion happens. For a moment, Nalos sees and hears that as well, and I'll let you kind of react that. But the rest of the chasers that are around you, all, there's an audible sort of either gasp or grunt or the exclamation of confusion as they all look up and they realize that gigantic sort of galleon-sized airship is exploding and the pieces are expanding. And just as the flame begins to completely dissipate, on the periphery, at the farthest part where the effect of the crystal is, debris is starting to fall. And they're all now looking away. So Cathbad and Talon, you are running into the situation. You see that, and as you're looking forward, you see that Starlight's Common is filled with about 20 chasers all surrounding Talon, or all surrounding Nalus.
Told you he needed help.
I draw.
I'm fine. I got this.
I came
You
here.
say,
I came to Gelspar to do two things: replace a hearth crystal and kill chasers, and I just replaced a hearth
And
crystal.
the hearth crystal's back in place.
That's right.
Yeah, like if I could hear the "I told you we needed help," he'd be like, "I got this." It's just one guy surrounded by. It's that one scene from Kill Bill where she walks into the dojo. And everyone, they're like, "I got this. We're fine."
Like, all right, well, I guess we're not needed here. Let's go.
Catherine goes, not needed. His ego may be large, but he cannot take on 20 men.
Ladies,
No, we could hang back a round or two and see how they pincushion him, and then step in when we feel it's necessary. No, I'm kidding. You're right. Besides, I'm spoiling for a good stand-up fight. Not back.
She goes, this is joke, yes. I understand. Nalos, we have come to save you. As I like slide into the scene, like staff in hand.
Yep. Still got the mean mask on too, which is awesome.
Yeah, main mask. Stand down, chasers. This island no longer belongs to you.
Well, that may be a little bold, but you know.
Well, there are 20 of them. Alan, I give him the eyes like,
where have you guys been?
but
Yeah.
I've been standing here for like 45 minutes.
Are you done roosting on your egg?
Yeah, no one else seemed to want to protect the thing we came here for. Where's Red?
He fell from the sky.
Yeah, I saw that. And I saw him do like a this motion, and he landed on a ship. I think he harnessed the wind.
He's probably okay.
I imagine the chasers are like,
All the chasers are looking up at this. The exchange has happened across this commons.
Yeah.
Nalos behind the
Back and
shield.
forth, yeah.
The back and forth is happening, and they're looking back and forth, going, and Cathbad is making her proclamation about the island is yours again. They're kind of looking back and forth, and they're just not sure what the hell to do. As another sort of lieutenant individual sort of steps in and says, "No, this island is mine."
Does he have
And
a
he
red
comes
face?
in, and he's got a yellow sort of visage. It's more golden. And he steps in and brandishes a sword and just kind of gets on the ready as the
So who's he
chasers
facing?
all
Is he facing Nalos or is he facing us?
Oh, he's facing he's facing Talon and Cathbad at this particular point.
okay.
And
That one.
I'd like to set a heavy grip if I can right now,
Okay.
Johnny, and say to him, "Wow,
Kill that one.
someone pissed on your face and call it a mask."
Did you just say kill that one?
Yeah.
Catherine
The
goes,
guy comes out with his mask on, and he has his sort of that one. Kill that one
Yes.
first.
she goes, may I have your name before I slay you?
You'll have my name when I'm dead.
Okay.
Fair
All
enough.
right, yes, I'm gonna burn his ass alive.
I don't think that's how
Okay.
that works.
All right. So I did not have a proper map set up for this. Let me get something set up very quickly, but I'm going to use a very old and familiar map. No, it's not the bridge. I apologize. It's not the bridge.
Oh, that would have been so funny.
I would have
I'm
punched you.
so mad at you.
I would end the stream. Don't you fucking
Turn this
spring
shit
that
around
on me.
I
I will turn this show around.
Oh, you'll turn this show around, huh?
Take us right home.
All right, guys. I am going to take this back to.
It's actually
I am going to take. Yeah, the body of the worm is where we're going to be. I'm going to start removing some things from this in particular map. But while I'm doing the setup on this and this is happening, and we're about to enter initiative, I am going to ask we're gonna cut back to Red real quick. So the explosion has happened. The ship is now beginning to twirl a little bit as they're trying to realize what's going on, and Red is just sort of swinging, and his robes are just kind of flowing with it.
So,
What does Red want to do here?
so correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong, but
The ship is kind of facing sort of slightly upward, and these two guys are kind of, I'm like kind of up here, and these two guys are like kind of in the cockpit area down here, right?
Yes.
Is there any way that I can like let go and like Mario bounce on one of the guys and like knock him off and like replace him in the cockpit?
Sure. What kind of a role is that, buddy?
More acrobatics?
Luck.
Is it an attack roll? I don't know.
So, yes.
What I'm imagining is basically like I let go and like angle myself. So I like kick this guy in the chest and like knock him off. And then I'm like in the cockpit, you know?
Okay. Do you feel like this is the kind of situation where you want to use your advantage that was donated to you?
1000%.
Really? Because that's oh, whoa, what happened there, guys? I don't know what happened. Okay, there we go. All right. 1000%. So really kind of narrate us into this and then give me that acrobatics roll.
Yeah, okay. So like Red is kind of like hanging from like a combination of like the rigging and the sails, right? Kind of like near where the mast meets the ship. And then towards because the ship's like angled upwards and it's kind of like getting blown by this back by this explosion. So as this is happening, Red is going to like try to time it perfectly and let go and basically do like a flying kick into this guy's chest. Use that to like grab onto and pull himself into the cockpit while he knocks this guy out. We'll see how it goes. I'm guessing acrobatics, but it could also just be an attack roll.
I am definitely going to say it's an acrobatics roll because this is you're doing all of this while you're flying, buddy.
Are you trying to steal the ship?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear for my own knowledge here.
Yes, I am.
He's now addicted to airships.
I 100% am.
Addicted to crashing them.
Let's see how this
Crashing airships.
He has crashed 2 out of 2 airships.
I'm going to be clear. The plan is fully steal the airship and then crash it into the tracers that are fighting you guys.
Oh, We're
down here.
We know. Oh yeah, that's right. You weren't here last time, Chelsea. He's done that before. He crashed into combat with a ship.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be okay. I see a pattern.
There is definitely a pattern forming here.
That's a crit. That's a crit is what that is.
That is a crit. So, narrate for me exactly what happens once you are able to land inside of that particular, cockpit.
So basically, like with the guy who's like trying to like angle the cannon, I'm imagining was like a little bit more exposed than the guy who's like in the driver's seat, right?
Okay.
And so basically, like as Red is like falling through the air, these guys are like, "Oh shit, that guy is about to die." They get like, I'm imagining a little bit distracted between the monk flying through the air and the explosion, and then all of a sudden there's just 2 boots in his chest, and like he probably gets thrown back a little bit like into the cockpit, and kind of there's probably like a moment where like him and Red like wrestle a little bit as they're like both trying to like stabilize and get into the cockpit, and then like the next thing we see, a guy's falling and Red is clambering in next to the guy driving.
And as that happens, the guy that's driving is like, what the hell? What? How? And he's stunned, and he's immediately angling down towards, trying to get to some place where he can, land the vehicle and try to stabilize the situation because he's completely lost about what's happening next to him.
I'll be real with you. I lied before. My name is Fourth Red Blossom. It grows in rocky soil. I was the one responsible for the crashing of the ship up there. I'm going to need this ship right now. I can toss you out with your friend, but I mean, we could just drive together.
He's looking over. He's give me some sort of a roll, an intimidate or
Fast
something.
Talk?
Fast talk works too.
I'm real bad at this. Let's see how this goes. That's a fail.
Is it a fail by a lot?
By 6.
I can't help you with 6.
Jesus. Okay, and so he looks over at you, looks back at the situation, looks over at you, and he immediately flips a switch, pulls out a blade to begin, to make an attack, and now we're in structured time, guys. All right. So let me bring up the initiative order.
What is this show?
This is the most ridiculous
This is
thing
quality
ever.
entertainment, Mike.
At a minimum, that's what it is. As for the rest,
Quality entertainment.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. The initiative order is going to work the same. We're going to cut between Red and everybody else at whatever position he's in the initiative order. This guy is a grunt, so he will go at the same time as grunts. So we'll cut back in that particular scene. So if that influences how you guys want to do initiative order, great. Otherwise, I'm still setting up the board, but it's you should be at a point where you can kind of get a sense of how things are going to go here.
So yeah,
Poorly, probably, given the numbers we have against us. So.
Well, I'm not so sure about that yet, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. Oh yeah. No, it's on. Don't get me wrong. It's totally on.
So I recognize that you guys are in a really bad spot as well, but I'm looking at 16 HP right now. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to tank a hit.
yeah,
That has only taken a couple hits. And I have something special.
I could go first to heal. That would be helpful, but I know you guys have a lot of grunt foes looking at you.
Johnny, there's only two kinds of foes, right?
There are only two kinds of foes. There are grunts and one elite.
So we can have two people go first, right?
Oh, you sure as fuck can.
Okay, cool. Then why don't you go? And then why doesn't Red heal himself? And then let me buff the party before we take a round where you guys are taking attacks.
So Red and Cathbad go first.
Plus, I have a big hit coming for old saucy pants.
Old saucy pants.
It's an auto hit too. That's why. Yeah, he's so saucy.
Oh, is he now? Okay.
He is a little saucy.
Yeah, I could. The thugs. Oh, unless they do that same shit they're going to do last time, which is really going to suck.
But I can buff all of us.
We're definitely in trouble either way, but
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're all going to be taking some hits. Is how I.
Oh yeah. No, exactly. I got trimmers left, so yeah. We're just going to see.
Wow, that's a lot of them.
Well, he did say about 20.
He
I did say about someone.
He was very clear. Yeah.
This is the bad guys.
That is the big bad, yes. Sorry, guys, I'm having to reuse tokens over, so
That's
just
okay.
So what if we did Red, Cat, Bad? Could Nalos make Talon superhuman, and then Talon can try to clear as many people as possible? Is that a good way to go about it?
Yep, can do that.
That sounds good.
Are we good? Is everyone good with that?
Assuming I live long enough, yeah.
You will.
Yeah, that's
Oh, you're totally gonna live long enough.
Okay.
You will.
All right, so
Considering most of the ring is probably going to concentrate on Nalos, that's probably a good point.
Oh, that's true. Nalos is in the center. Not,
He's the real
that was Talon for a second. I was like, yeah, that might be. Yeah.
Right, but his back is to the wall, and Nalos has proven that anytime his back is to the wall, he's done some interesting things.
He's surprisingly resilient. Let's put it that way.
True. True.
You say that like you're bitter.
I was gonna say he's sneaky.
He's still alive?
We ready?
Yeah, so it's
Let's do
Red
this.
Red
Order,
Cathbad,
order.
Grunts, Nalos, Elite, Talon.
Correct.
There are no elites, though.
Whatever the hell the
Alright.
thing is. Grunt,
Yeah,
whatever the
correct.
next thing is.
So,
Awakened or elite? I don't know. Whatever.
He is an elite foe though.
Cathbad, Red, Nalos.
Red Cathbad.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He's fine. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to give you one additional detail in this particular scene and situation now that you guys have chosen the order. There's something really interesting about these chasers.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
Oh.
It's the fact that they don't look well organized. In fact, some of them look to be looking between each other and are sort of scared.
Good.
Talon recognizes this as untested combatants.
Excellent.
Sometimes almost easily intimidated. But I'm just going to say that now. So, anyways,
Okay.
Cathbad, what are you doing? Top of the initiative order.
Top of the initiative order, she does healing factor on herself as a free action, so that if I take damage, I gain a d6 in health against damage taken. What?
Okay.
2, after she does that, I imagine it's kind of like this like aura that like surrounds her, this like shield aura. I'm going to have to step in a smidge, but I should be able to do that. Should be able to take a slow action. Where am I? Oh, we're way far. Oh, I see.
You're not that far off, but yeah.
Okay, perfect. I can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and still take a fast action.
Okay.
Which I'm gonna do, and for the first time, Cathbad is gonna use one of her tide turners.
Nice.
Top of the game, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because this one, she steps up to him and she goes, "You do not own this island and will burn." And from his feet, she casts Funeral Pyre, which is an auto hit, piercing damage of 3d12.
Whoa! Holy cow!
That's why it's a
Is that something that you can wait? Is that something that you can sustain as well?
I can and move it from foe to foe every round.
Badass.
That's
That's a heck of a tide turner.
Yep.
Cathbad is not playing around anymore. So she's just gonna take 3d12. So let's pray they're good. There you go. You can take 24 points.
Holy.
I'm trying to scare them off, and this seemed like a good way to do that.
Roll me an intimidate roll at the same time.
Ooh, I don't think I am very good at that. Oh, okay.
Roll it at advantage because you use that tide tunnel.
Okay. First one makes it.
Shit.
Well, roll again to see if it crit.
Oh, good call.
Mm-hmm. Well, take the 7, obviously, but you could get.
I was very close. Actually, no, my critical is 2.
Told you.
Happy Cathbad.
Hell yeah.
So the session's over, guys. It was a very quick one. We made it 1 of the 2 hours. That's fine. Let's do an after action and see what we thought about the show.
This is why they're called tide turners. So you only get to use them
So
once.
Johnny can prep the next 2 sessions after we just beat the game.
Now,
Uh-oh.
as that happens,
Have you ever heard the sound of 20 young men poop?
I have now.
Because you have now.
Because I have now.
Cathbad, describe to me what it's like when this attack goes off, this tide turner goes off, and what it looks like on this guy's like physical person.
So in the past, I've used fire before, but it usually like starts at the feet and like burns upwards. I imagine this is like almost this like cylindrical pyre from the sky, and it comes down and it just crispy fries him to an ash. Like the gods have descended upon this man at the hands of Cathbad, and I will burn him until he turns into ash.
All right, almost immediately, given your intimidate roll, almost immediately, the 2 that are flanking him turn and run.
At the very least, I figured that was going to happen.
Well, because what happens is, as that sort of that effect comes, that flame effect sort of comes down as a column, they both look up because there's an audible sound as this guy is just intent on his battle battle intensity, but these 2 are green, and with that noise, they look up, see what's coming at them, and just immediately take off. As that happens, the flame just sort of engulfs him for just a second, beginning to singe him, right?
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them all turn and take a look. Dallas, what you see in front of you, it just, surprises the hell out of you, because it's like 18 heads just sort of turn that direction, and then they begin to scatter. Like, they all begin to scatter. As you hear a guttural sort of yell from this gold-faced chaser, and he just starts moving forward at this point as everybody else runs, and he calls them all cowards. As we cut to Red in the cockpit. Red, the blade is just sort of like coming your direction. What are you doing?
So how secure does this guy have? Is he strapped in? Am I gonna be able to pull the toss out maneuver again, or is that probably out of reach? You're muted.
Yeah, so sorry. No, you're going to be able to do that because the way that the restraint works on these airships, it doesn't really. It's more of just like a slight tie down, because at least the way I imagine it in my head is that there's a certain amount of trust in the fact that the hearth crystal that are with each of these ships is going to sort of kind of prevent the momentum from hurting them too terribly much. So it's easy to sort of dislodge him from that.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, I am going to first heal myself just because that's the safe way to do this.
Correct.
Probably a good idea.
So I'm going to get 2d6 plus 5 back. And 12 is pretty dang good. That will take me to 28, which is good. And then, yeah, I think Red is going to try to... as this guy goes at him with the knife, he's gonna try to duck out of the way and use the momentum to get the guy to get thrown out of the airship. And we'll see if he can make that work.
All right, do it.
Is this just an attack roll? I'm sure there's rules for grappling somebody in this game. They're almost.
Well, I would assume that it's going to be an athletics roll. And John, if you've got any insight as to what you guys would actually be using from a system perspective, but it seems like an athletics roll at this point, or even just a straight up attack roll.
Yeah, either one of those would work fine.
So let's go ahead and call it an attack roll, or sorry, a athletics roll then.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Here we go. Trying to beat a 12. 19 is not below 12.
All right. So your heal was a slow action, right? Or was that a fast action?
Heal was slow.
All right. And then the grappling him using athletics is going to be a slow action as well. And so as you're kind of reaching in and you're kind of grabbing him, you slip past you kind of lose your grip because he's able to kind of shake, and the blade just comes around, and I'm going to need a toughness roll.
Right.
Or sorry, a dodge roll. Excuse me, a
dodge roll. Dodge first. Come on. Nope. Nope.
All right. Let me see. You're going to take, what's your toughness?
4.
Okay, so it's just going to be a straight up D10 minus 4. And you're going to take...
Oh, crappy blade, that guy.
Oh, wow. You're going to take 6 points of damage.
Well, it could have been worse. This guy could be a lot tougher.
He could be a lot tougher, but of course he was piloting an airship, so he wasn't really designed for close quarters combat, or for melee combat.
I forgot that my magic spell has range, and so I can't use it on. I should have used it on this guy. Oh well. I stop people from doing stuff move, but that's okay.
Okay, that'll have to be the next time. All right, so we cut back to the rest of the Grunts who are booking it and making either way, in the Starlight Commons, bringing us to Nalos, who is just facing, shields, behind the shield, sort of, phalanx style, assessing the situation.
How many are gone?
All of them started to run.
Okay.
They really just decided that it wasn't, worth anything, and they're just going to go.
And did I'm only asking because the map hasn't changed. And did the big guy move in? How close is he?
He has not moved in yet because it's not his turn, and I'm going to remove all of these guys now.
Right.
So
he did not move in because it's not his turn. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is 7 away. That's too far away from me to do anything with him.
No, it's not. You're fine.
No, I just can't do anything with him. I am going to give some buffs. Talon, your first fast action is a free action, and your first slow action is a fast action, and that's it.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to give you. I'm going to hold back 2 fast actions just in case. Just make sure you hit this guy.
Oh, I will. If he advances and I advance, we'll meet right in the middle.
Yeah, so I think
cleave him in half.
The narrative is Nello sees the fucking flames go and then everyone leave, and he kind of looks back to Cathbad.
I'm like,
and he looks back to the guy, and then he looks back to Talon and goes, Well, and that's how all your moves are faster.
Yeah.
Well, get on it.
All right. So the elite foe goes next, and he moves forward. And as he moves, I'm assuming that the sort of the flaming, the flaming effect of this is continuing on him. Like it's almost like it's magically imbued to him as the sort of just it's doing its thing, and he moves forward towards Cathbad.
Of course he does. That would make sense.
Well, I mean, you did kind of just yell at him, and all of a sudden he's now in flames, and all of his guys are gone.
Sure. This is also why I buffed myself. I knew this was coming.
And he's going to he's going to swing his sword, flaming and all, and just make an attack towards you.
Yeah.
And he is going to need a toughness, or sorry, a resistance roll. Which one? A dodge. Sorry.
Dodge roll. Oh, that's not good. Nope. No.
All right. What's your toughness?
4.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's going to be 2d10 minus 4.
Oh, plus 6. My d6.
Plus your d6. So
she'll get to roll it. Yeah.
Yep.
Aha.
So he takes his swing, and he lands in with 5 points as he just kind of slices you just slightly on your arm as it starts to bleed a little bit, and then comes around again and makes another attack.
Of course he does. I gotta roll that dodge.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, 1 over. Nope, I miss.
Okay. This time I'm going to need you to make me a willpower roll as he does damage.
Okay, I can do better on that one. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Was that you? Oh,
that was me.
Oh, okay.
So and then you.
Oh, okay. No, I did not make my will power.
You're going to take a stack of fragility.
Okay.
Okay, and then you're also going to take 8 points of damage.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to take 3 points of damage.
You're going to take 3 points of damage.
That's a very handy little thing there. Okay. All right, that worked. Cool, thank you.
All right, and then this time what he does is he then makes a move where he just kind of swings it around and almost brings the pommel down towards your head. I need you to make me another dodge roll.
No. No.
All right.
Keep going. She's like, I will burn. I will stay standing.
Make me a willpower roll.
Okay. Nope. And let me just go ahead and do this. Yay, 6.
You're going to take another 6, or you're going to take what is it? 6 points of damage, and you're going to be knocked prone.
Okay, knocks me down.
Right, and that's his moves. Talon, you're watching him just take some serious effort towards Cathbad as he's just beginning. He's flaming, fully engulfed in this sort of fire miasma thing that's just like around him.
Yep.
And you watch as Cathbad goes down.
Yeah. So burn the fast action that's free by moving 1 over. Burn the slow action as a fast action to move the 5 over. My turn. And then I'm going to roll the attack with Bone Shatter Blow.
Nice.
Do this, and then I'm going to. Well, let's see if I do it first, and then we'll do the next one. So.
Nice.
Oh, not nice. That actually misses.
Oh, that was a 17. You're right. That's not nice in this game. I always forget.
So unless someone can do something, Nalos, I actually missed them.
Yeah, nope. Nalos, can you do anything?
Nope, I cannot. I need you to hit. I need you to hit to do things.
Wait, hang on.
No, I need it. I'm 3 away. I need a 3, and I don't have it. There's nothing I can do with this, so
You should still be able to attack him again.
Mhm.
no, because I had to use all those. Well,
You should still have a fast
You
action.
should have a fast. Yeah, fast.
all my attacks are slow.
You should have a slow left. Your first slow is a fast, which was your move, and then you can
Right.
fast. Oh yeah, you should have one fast left. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Throwing knife?
Oh no.
You don't have a,
No,
you
no,
don't have
no.
a blade of any.
Your first slow action is a fast. Then your first
Right,
fast
first
action is
fast
a free.
free.
That's your move, and then your slow attack, and then
Another slow attack.
another slow attack.
No, dude, that's not how it works. Okay.
Okay.
You gave me fast is free and
Yep.
slow is fast, right? So I used the fast is free as a shift because he was one fucking square away from me too much.
Right.
Then I used the slow fast to get over there.
Right.
That leaves me with one fast and one
yeah,
slow
and one
fast.
slow.
Now I have a slow. I missed. Unfortunately, I missed him. Damn it! And
Isn't your first throwing knife attack a fast action?
I could do that. Yes, that's true.
Yes, that was what I was going to prompt him for. Thank you for telling him that.
Yeah. That is a good point. Well, I was going to look at my sheets, see if anything else I could do, and yes, I will do that. So, range
Man,
attack,
I should have.
All right, now watch. I'll probably crit on this fucker. I could
Okay.
have last round.
This next round.
Yeah. That's right.
Don't jinx yourself, John.
Yeah, no kidding. 5. There you go.
Now
so
I
it
can
was
do stuff.
a hit.
That'll do it.
And
Now I can help you.
wow. Okay. Well, it's 2d6. 2, and I got to change that. I hardly ever use it. Ooh, a whole 5. 5 points.
Cool. I burn Energizing Victory, which is my trigger, and I amplify the effect with my other fast action. If a hero hits a foe with an action, your next fast action is free. If you it didn't fall. That's right. It didn't become fallen. So your next fast action is free. So that's on your next turn. You have another free
Okay.
fast action.
Oh, damn.
All right. Well,
If you-
I'm right on him now, so that's good.
If you killed him, you would get a bunch of other stuff. But all the little guys are gone.
Yeah, at least I tagged him once, so I'll get him next round.
Yep.
Now that I'm right on him, it shouldn't be a problem.
Cool.
All right.
Back to Cathbad and Red.
Yeah.
Well, unless we want to change
order.
the order.
Yeah. That's the question.
I'll go first.
Yeah, now that
Yeah.
I know this guy is rolling a d10 at me, I'm feeling much more confident going later in the turn order. If you
Yeah, let me leave.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's just stack you and let you go again since you get all this free stuff.
Why don't we
Right.
do Nalos then Talon? That way you could burn through a bunch of attacks.
Oh God,
about to
even
say-
better. Even
So
better.
I'll just get another 3d12 when it wraps
I'll go
around.
last.
Yep.
I'll go last. We'll do Naus, Talon, Cathbad, Red.
Cool.
Just let me be very clear about this. There's only one. Well, actually, there is a grunt and a foe. So, okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't remember that there was a grunt. I thought the 3 of you could have stacked at the beginning, but I just remembered I was wrong.
That's okay. Well, I say these two gents just need to. He may just kill him.
Yeah.
All right. So now, are you going
likely.
first?
Yeah, I'm going first. So it's Nalos, Talon, Guy, Red Cat.
All right. And so, well, Red, then Elite, then Cathbad.
Yeah.
All right. And just to confirm, that burn that she has on him, that sustain, that's her tide turner, that does a significant amount. I mean, that's 3d12 every time. Is that correct, Cathbad?
Yeah, just flat out. You don't even get to roll against it. It's just an auto hit.
on Cathbad's turn. Right.
Are you okay? I just want to be very clear. Are you sure you want that to happen before or after the Elite actually goes? I'm giving you that option because
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we can switch Red and her if you want.
it's entirely up to you guys. I'm just letting you know that this guy does have a significant HP still. So
That's
Yeah,
true.
let's
Swap Red and Cathbad.
That's
All right.
good with me.
yeah, that sounds fine. That's fine.
All right,
right.
John, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you already have a free fast action.
Yeah.
You now have another free fast action. You now have a fast slow action. 1 stack of fragility has been removed from Cathbad.
Oh,
Nice.
1 stack of fragility has been added to Pissface. And
Cool.
technical.
technical name. And I will I will hold my last action. My last fast action.
Okay. All right. All right. So, first of all, do a focus, burn one of those free fasts for a focus check to see if I can get extra die to my next damage roll. Okay, got it. All right.
Nice.
Then burn burn the slow as fast for patience and cunning. My next melee action against target foe gains auto hit property. Or do I want to roll that? I've been having shitty rolls though. No, we'll just do cleave. That's fine. We'll just do cleave.
Okay.
Let's see if I hold on. Let's see if I can do this. So that's the fast. So I got one free fast left. This is gone, which leaves me with a slow and a fast. Actually, a slow and 2 fast because one's still free. All right. So I can do this. So we're gonna do. Oh, cleave is that's both slow of them. Oh, frick. No, that works. That works. So it's patience and cunning, then cleave, then amplify cleave with staccato strike, so I get another attack roll.
All right, do it.
So the cleave is 5d12 plus 9 damage because it's with the focus. Let's see.
All right, but you gotta. You didn't auto hit it, so you're rolling.
Yes,
it.
I did. Yeah, dude, I told you the slow action as a fast action was patience and cunning. Next melee action gains auto hit.
Okay.
I auto hit him with the cleave. Yeah.
All right. I'm just confirming. Okay.
No problem. No problem.
Please roll a 5d6 or 5d10 or whatever that you're rolling.
5d12.
5d12. Excuse me. 5d12.
Yeah.
So 47 points of damage minus, his toughness. So that's a fair bit roll. So when you kind of, you swipe in at him, your blade comes down, and as you're cleaving, like huge chunks of his what looks to be some sort of like ceremonial armor that he appears to be wearing, get kind of chopped away, and there's a huge gash sort of in his chest as he's starting to bleed.
Okay.
He's not as badly hurt as you would expect from that.
Yeah, he's a tough one. So all right, then I used staccato strike to make my basic melee attack.
Okay.
I hope. Should be nice. 13. Yes, that does. Just under, does not penetrate, but does get the attack in, so that's fine. And that straight up is 4d10 plus 3. Heavy grip. Oh, sorry, 4d12 with powerful. And that's another 31 minus his toughness.
Okay. So again, you come in with that next attack, and it nails him again, and more sort of pieces of this weird sort of ceremonial armor he's kind of wearing just fall off, and it's another shallower gash on his chest, but now he's clearly bleeding. The sort of the tunic or shirt that he's wearing under with this armor that you just kind of cleaved off is starting to get soaked with blood and bleeding, and you can see the cuts through the sort of the cut in the fabric. And he's looking pretty bad. But so we cut, as you make this attack, there's nothing else you can do. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, excellent. We're going to cut over to the grunt in the airship as he again makes his attack towards Red. Please give me a dodge roll, sir. Like he's taking his blade and he's just trying to stab at you at this point, and it's easily you could easily telegraph some of this stuff. But
I'm gonna dodge this because I realized that it would cost me more HP to stop him from attacking than his max damage. So not really worth. Oh yeah, Red dodges out of the way. He's I'm imagining this is like where it's getting like kind of like ugly. Like Red's trying to he gets out of the way of the knife and is maybe trying to stick it into the sideboard or whatever to try to disarm the guy. But he's gonna really push and throw a shoulder into him and try to knock him out over the side. Try that again here. 11 is good. I have a 12 athletics.
Okay. All right. I just realized that I didn't change the order around, but that's fine. So on the initiative order. So you grab him and describe what you do when you throw him out, and then I will describe what happens after that.
Yeah. So I think the first pass, Red was trying to get fancy, and then the longer this goes on, it's one of those scenes in an action movie where things get messier and messier. So he's trying to avoid the knife. He's trying to push them out. They're wrestling over the wheel. We weave through a barely missing a building, right? And then the guy goes for a lunging stab. Red's able to like grab his hand and stick it into the wooden like wall behind them, and then just like rams into him with his shoulder and barely catches himself from going out over the side with the guy. But he's able to like get into the seat, tries to manage to get a hold of the helm here.
Okay, and as you kind of reach over and you grab the helm, you slide over into sort of the pilot seat, which is next to where the gunner sort of seat was, and you disengage what is basically just it was holding the airship just sort of in the same path, and you're able to kind of begin to make your arc back towards Gelspar proper. And as you're kind of just assessing the situation, you kind of look over, you see that there's a shape of somebody sitting next to you in motley garb. And that's where we're going to cut back to Cathbad.
Oh, okay. Cathbad, you said she's still on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
What does it take for me to stand? Is that just considered a shift?
I believe it's a fast action.
Prone, 1 second. Prone, fast action to remove prone. That is correct.
Fast action.
Off guard and cannot take actions until you blow a fast action to do so.
Okay. So that's first fast action. Is stand up. Second fast action is to hit him again. Actually, free action, I take that. I'm going to start at the top. So Talon gets my first free action, which is to give you an additional damage die next round with Wild Spring. Then I stand.
Cool.
Then I sustain. So let's go ahead and just get saucy.
Roll me that 3d12.
That should do it. 26.
God damn.
Nice.
Cool. I activate Energizing
God.
Victory, and your next fast action's a free action, Cathbad.
Whoa! That's really good because I have more damage for him.
Nice.
So I just want to describe what happens next as that sustain goes off, and then Cathbad can do whatever else she's going to do. As you do that, you begin to smell the flesh burning under him. And Talon, you were standing right in front of him. So you see that the wounds are beginning to cauterize a little bit, but the blood is sort of boiling off of his skin a little bit as the wounds look really disgusting. And Cathbad, that smell of burning flesh just reminds you of home.
Remind me to never piss Catherine.
She's like,
Or visit her at home either. I think that's
do you
another
like this? You smell like a good chicken. And then she continues dealing damage, or hopefully dealing more damage to him.
Like a good chicken?
Like a good cooking chicken.
I didn't realize chicken smelled like that. I was imagining more like a red meat kind of thing, but okay.
You also don't know what kind of chickens Cathbad eats.
Nah, humans are long pig, the other white meat.
All right. So that gave me another fast action spell 3.
Okay.
So, well, I guess this is free and I still have a slow action. So I'm going to take this free fast action to heal myself with a D8. Boom. Perfect. Cathbad is loving today. It's her day. And then now I will deal more damage. So with my final slow action, I will cast another beam of like magic energy comes out of the sky, but this time it's like the celestial moonbeam energy, and it meets this like flame, and she's just like pummeling him with magical energy. So I do have to roll for accuracy, but it is piercing. So here we go. Please be less than 14. It is. Okay. You're going to take a D10 extra damage, and I will sustain that, leaving, those are my 2 sustained spells.
And so okay, we got, how much total damage did you just do to him?
Total damage was 31 points of total damage.
Holy. Okay, sure. Yeah, okay, great.
So now there's a sustained moonbeam from the sky, sustained pyre from the sky.
Oh, this is
That's
bad.
it. And Cathbad's, healing.
So the light is just sort of dancing off of his white flesh that is being exposed as parts of his his teeth are being burned away. But at that same time, it's like white for a second, and then you do see the red as the skin begins to sort of bubble a little bit on him as he becomes more and more grotesque. All right, and
Catbad looks at Talon and goes, "Finish him!"
I'm figuring second first, same as the first for everybody.
Is this the same initiative order that you want at this particular point? Because there is no more grunt.
Right.
So the grunt is gone.
Oh, well,
Rest took care of that.
And yeah, exactly.
And everyone just goes ahead of the.
Reasonably sure I'm going to kill him this round.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Yep.
All right, now does that mean you're up first?
I believe it does. Cool. I'm gonna make a check here. I'm gonna make a leadership check to use guide. I fail horribly.
But that's a beautiful crit there, buddy.
It is beautiful. It would be a crit
in some other game.
They even made it green.
They even made it green because it's prettier than. Cool. So that's a slow action I just burned for no reason.
Yeah, we'll have to reverse that when we get the roll. When this gets us up on roll.
Yeah, you have to change
red. Yep.
And then you have a free fast action. You have a fast slow action, and I'm gonna hold back one of my. Actually, no one has any stacks of anything on them, right?
Not anymore.
I'm clean, yeah, and then one.
Oh, you know what we forgot, guys? That guy has fragility on him.
He does have fragility on him.
I was about to say, it doesn't matter at this point. He's
pretty sure
done.
That means that means all of your
He's like
attacks.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, like melting skin.
I'm gonna put fragility on him again. It ends at the end of my turn, my next turn. So I'm gonna stack it on him again. So he has piercing. All your shit has piercing, Talon.
Oh, sweet.
It did last turn too, but we forgot about it.
Yeah, well, I figure I've got a good chance of killing him this round. I think so. But that helps. That helps. Heavy piercing means I just got to get 14 or better. All right. So I have. You did give me the free fast from last round too that I was holding.
No,
correct?
I gave that to Cathbad.
Okay, but Cathbad, you gave me the extra damage die. Isn't that right? From your turn?
Yes.
I sure did.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
More damage faster, please.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to hold on to that one since the auto. I would use focus, but I only have a 50-50 on making those. So one free fast and one slow fast. I'm going to hold on. All right. Perfect. So first of all, we're going to try for bone shedder blow. Just going to open up right with the sword. Damn it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not good.
Let's try it again. Second time.
That looks a little better.
There we go. Okay, and then I'll staccato strike that as well. But let's do this first.
Okay.
What is it? Piercing? Oh yeah, 1.5 deal damage because I penetrated on that. That's even better.
Absolutely.
So 4d12 plus 7. Let's see. I think I have this heavy grip and bone shatter. Yes. Okay. So let's roll that. Oh, there we go. There. Stop. Oh, damn it. Fine. 24 and 12 is 36. And it all penetrates, of course.
Okay.
And then I'll do my general melee with the free action. Come on. Do it. Come up. A 10. So that hits as well. That's just basic melee attack sword. Let's see. Oh, that was 10. Sorry, that should be 12s. Nope, that doesn't count. Hang on. Skip that. Ignore that one, which is good because it was a sucky roll anyways. Let's at least do a heavy grip. There we go. Okay. There we go. Much better. Yeah, 29.
That did not pierce that, though. Is that correct?
No, it does. He's got fragility on him. All my damage pierces.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So describe to me what it's like when you basically take this guy down.
Yep. All right. So flame on. The beam comes down. He's simultaneously glowing and cooking at the same time. I get the nod from Nalos, I suppose, and pretty much just bring the blade across his abdomen to open up his guts, and then whirl and bring all my power into the melee attack and pretty much just bisect him at the waist. As he's on fire, and just cut him in half.
Yes.
And as you cut him in half, the blade slides through his.
Sizzling blood, his flesh. Yeah, it's like flaming a little bit. Oh, that's disgusting.
Well, so if you do that, and his torso, of course, tips like this,
Yes.
falls, and there's blood splattering everywhere as his lower half just sort of falls back.
Mhm.
And the flames just continue from Cathbad's, tide turner and just, take him to ash.
Yep. Exactly what she said she was going to do. Yes.
And we are now out of structured time.
All right. Well, I just make sure he's good and
We're-
dead.
Okay, we're going to stay in Starlight Commons for the moment.
Yep.
It's now empty, other than this flaming sort of corpse, and then there's the hearth crystal there. So
Yep. Looks a cat bed. Nice.
Job well done.
She's like,
Indeed.
I told you I would turn him to ash.
You did. You
I had
kept
no doubt. I
shouting
think
it
he
over and
doubted
over
you for a
again.
second, but yeah,
We scared the rest of them off.
that was truly impressive.
Where's Red?
He looks around. Yeah, I thought he would have been crashing here right about now. He kind of looks at the sky. I'm not sure where he is.
you see the airships streaking across as the other gigantic galleon airships are still moving in the direction to do their job.
So we brought the crystal, and they're still going to screw over Gelspar. Unbelievable.
I mean, even if they puncture the chains, it still floats. It just doesn't float.
Yes,
chains.
but is it going to float away?
Who knows?
That's
Does it matter? You know what? Catman says that. Does it matter if it floats away?
Kind of. They don't actually produce anything here on Gelspar. It's just a bunch of people that live
are
here.
going to starve.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of a problem if they don't have access to. Are the airships going to supply them?
Yeah.
This is a slum. Who has money to pay for things? Who has money
Okay,
to what do
Gelspar
they
is.
trade?
It's free. Let's say Gelspar becomes free. Could it become attached to the glades?
The glades are attached to the island they're trying to sever it from. Those
Well, of
chains
course.
that attach the glades.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, I
Keep in
guess
mind, if we blew the silver glades apart and then got them somehow together, that'd be impressive.
that is Catbed's thoughts.
Because keep in mind, the Rift Keepers are going to blow the silver glades away too.
You know, if the main island wants to be so rid of everything that makes it great, and we take
Well,
and we not
yeah.
connect this island to the glades.
that's. Are you also an engineer as well as a forest walker?
giant
Because I'm not
chains
sure how
aren't
that's going to
free.
happen.
I don't even know what an engineer is.
It's a person who know how to attach these two islands together and have the know-how to move
Chains.
them into place. Yeah.
Does this make me an engineer?
Well, how are you going to get this island over to the other island? They are pretty far apart right now.
I look up in the sky at all the ships. Let us pray. Red has gotten his hands on a toy.
It'd need to be a pretty effing big toy.
I think Nallus is just standing, like arms on the top of his shield, just watching this exchange go back and forth from the crystal.
What?
Well,
I
I
think
gotta
I'll
head
have
over
either
here
one of them.
because we're going to have to guard this thing until freaking
I guess that's
Max
true.
gets some guards.
So, what? We are just gonna stand here and
Well, assuming if Red survived and he got in his hole on a ship, we can send him over to Maddox's place in the span and have him get some guards to protect this thing. But in the meantime, we're it.
Yeah, we definitely need to wait for Maddox. That was kind of the
Okay.
whole deal.
Because the chasers are going to come back in force eventually. I mean, the
are
mob
you
will
sure?
be frightened, but he will return and in larger numbers.
All right, so that's a perfect segue to cut to back to the airship with Red just piloting. And Red, you look over and you see somebody in motley gear, motley sort of like clothing. Who do you see?
Yeah. Red sees like a kind of rather short figure in blue and white jesters motley. They've got kind of like dark, ruddy complexion. They have like kind of this like weird grin, but it's like their like mouth like is like twitching a lot. It's like difficult to like keep the grin in place. And their eyes are like a little bit like sallow and sunken in. And they look kind of just all around like worn out, maybe a little bit upset, but still smiling, forcing this jolly smile. And Red looks over and is like, like looks back and is like, hey, how'd you get, wait, who are you?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Wait a minute.
What are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead.
I am.
Seriously, what are you doing here?
I didn't die.
No. No, shh. I was told to come here and escort you, but you're not dead. You need to die.
I'd rather not.
I would rather not escort you, but you have to move on. I was told you need to move. No, please make this ship do its thing. You need to leave your body. I need to take you from here, please.
Look, I think either I'm going crazy. I'm pretty sure I know who you are, but I've been spending a lot of time working on not dying. I don't think it's a good time for me.
Really? Do you really think that it's a good idea to stay in your body? I mean, is this existence great for you? I mean, come on, look at you.
I think I'm still working on it. I think I don't know that I don't think it's time for me yet.
No, he's not. No, I'm sorry. You see him as he's looking over and he's talking to somebody, but there's nobody there. And he looks back at you and says, I don't think you understand. Your time has come. It is time for you to leave. How did you do that? How did you just not die?
It must be working. This is a sign. I'm farther along the path than I thought. Aren't I?
The path is just a bunch of hokey, nonsense, mumbo jumbo. Don't. I'm just telling him what shh. No, Master. I mean, no.
I'm getting much closer. This is great. It's working.
Listen, and he just, every time he starts, he just gets frustrated and the grin just begins to slip a little more and the eyes get a little bit more, sort of like bulging. And he look, you need to figure out a way to die. I'm going to give you a little while, but I'm going to come back and we're going to have this conversation again. And you better be out of your body and be ready for me to take you on to the next. Are you ready to go to the next?
Red will look at this figure with a big smile, the biggest, widest grin we've seen of all of Red's big, goofy grins. And Red says, with all due respect, 54th of the 54, I don't think you're a very good teacher. And for now, I think I'll stay here in this body. I think I'm going to go help my friends now. And he's going to turn the airship and he's going to head towards his friends. And he's going to, as he does this, he's going to give the figure one more smile. And he's going to say, you're welcome to stick around and watch. Like I said, I think I've made it a bit further down my path than I thought, but that doesn't mean I haven't made it all the way. Sure, it might be entertaining.
And as you do that, as you kind of turn back over, you see the smile just completely falter. And for the first time, you see a grimace on the face. I'll be watching. No, Master, no. I'll be watching. And you see him say that to the other person off screen. And he looks back to you and says, and I won't be helping you either. And he slowly fades.
And Red continues to smile. He nods once and says, praise in me at the fool. I'll see you soon.
Don't like that name. And he vanishes. So what does Red do now?
He's flying to the commons as fast as he can. He's going to pick up his friends. And he's ecstatic. He's the happiest we've seen Red.
And so as the three of you are sort of standing there kind of assessing the situation, Red's, brings the airship sort of in and kind of, swings around the common and then lands it just sort of off to the side. And as it does, it blows away a bunch of the ash and debris. away from the remnants of the body, and there are a couple of things in the charred remains that are left there. Nalos, you notice something that's interesting that looks like some sort of sigil or house emblem, among the burnt armor that is there. You also notice that there is some sort of what looks like a rudimentary sort of firearm device, but it's got a gigantic barrel and appears to be packed with some sort of strange sort of package of phosphorus or something like that when you examine it.
Are firearms a normal thing here?
We do have cannons, so you do know it, and if you spend a little time thinking about it, you realize that it's a flare.
Oh, neat. Okay. What is the house? You said it was a house symbol?
There's a house sigil sort of in the ashes that is revealed.
Yeah. Nallis will walk over there if he sees the dust blowing around, especially intrigued by the house sigil. He kind of sees the flare and then looks to Talon and tosses it over to him. But he's more concerned with the house sigil.
So I'm sorry, there's a flare on the body of the guy?
Well, underneath the dust of the guy.
That didn't burn. Okay.
It didn't burn up because it was not a normal fire means. It was magical.
It was magic fire, yeah. I got you.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Purposeful shaped fire.
Exactly. It was only burning the actual flesh.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
This is like a signal flare of some kind?
It is a signal flare of some kind.
Huh.
Oh, right, because it's closed to that. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So, Nalos, as you kind of pick up this sigil and take a look at it, give me a knowledge roll.
Sure. What is this related to? I think I have things. Is this related to, is it a coin? What does it look like?
Yeah, for lack of a better word, it's almost like it's about the size of like a large challenge coin, or something that you would wear as an adornment, maybe like a brooch sort of size thing that would represent a house sigil of some kind.
Okay.
So it's a fairly large piece to look at.
I don't know how your anchors actually mechanically help you in the game, but two of my anchors are Adriel Underworld and coins.
All right, take advantage with coins.
Cool. So I'll give you a knowledge roll. Is that what you're asking for?
Yep.
Knowledge. Nat 1. So I crit.
All right. As the Red is beginning to kind of exit the airship and walk towards you, and now our Talon and Cathbad are just kind of taking in the rest of the situation. Mm-hmm. You spend the time sort of looking at this house sigil, and you're studying it, and at first you're thinking that it looks incredibly familiar, but it's not any house sigil that represents any of the current houses that are the noble families, or any of the merchant families, or any other sort of currently existing grouping of or an organization of any kind. Mm-hmm. And that's when you realize that it's much older, and that it is the from a historical context, you start thinking back towards some of the other sort of houses that were represented prior to or during the cataclysmic event, and having as a strategist, you've done a lot of studying. There's a lot of experience that you've been digging into sort of the existing histories of the various families. You realize that this is a dead family line that dates back towards sort of the times of the cataclysm, and it was rumored that their last heir had vanished.
Well, it's super dead now.
Am I led to believe this might be the last heir?
No,
okay.
But the sigil puzzles you, because where you found it was actually hidden under some other part of the garb, where the armor was, and Talon revealed that part of the garb, that part of where it was attached under the armor when he did his first cleave. And so it was almost like as if it was a hidden symbol of some kind, not actually exposed, but it was worn in honor regardless in the position that you would wear a sigil.
Okay. Yeah, he takes this because, I mean, he knows about the Trinity now, which is like the three houses that are trying to fuck up the day. And now this adds a potential fourth house to the mix of that.
What have you found?
It's a coin, like the ones I've been giving out, but not as useful. And
What makes a coin useful?
Well, I mean, many coins are given monetary value. I don't know what you guys trade in up there in the Glades, but these coins, and he pulls out his, and he says, these belong to my family, and they translate to one favor. And he puts it back. And he says, this coin, I have no idea what it means, but I know that this house symbol is dead. There's no one by this house.
Yes, of course, he is dead, and I kicked the ash.
No, not the pile of ash. The family that this symbol belongs to does not exist anymore.
Family owns the symbol.
Yes.
I do not understand.
Do you have a family on the Glades? Or did you?
No. Well, yes.
Okay.
Till the Glades took them.
Right. And how did you know your family from people that were not your family?
Because I came from the womb of my mother.
Yeah. That's kind of like the symbolic representation of this.
That is no womb, trust me. He points to hers.
Gross.
Cathman's womb.
I'm a little uncomfortable
whole new
with
level of womb. She sees you getting frustrated. She says, I am sorry. I do not understand.
Family means more than just birth.
Well, yes, and it means more than coin.
Right. And here, we can represent some of it by this coin. Having something like this means you belong to this family.
Why would he have it if you are saying his family is all dead?
Now you're asking the right questions. I don't know. It's puzzling.
Why is this right? I finally look at Talon. I'm like, why is it right question when there is no answer?
No one should have this coin.
I wish Red were here so that he could say.
Red steps up at this moment. Go for
He
it.
just like slides the window open. Exactly.
Red like you guys see an airship zoom down into the it's a plaza of
The Starlight Commons, yeah, but it's
it is a plaza, but it is not called that. Red zooms down into the plaza and is like, guys, I didn't die.
I saw you flew into another ship.
This was
your body.
We saw that.
Also, Talon, you totally missed it. There was a god here. One of the few greater divinities that's still around showed themselves to me. You guys missed it. It was great.
Catherine made 20
sure
dudes
was
poop their
quite a
pants.
sight. Yeah, and then run away. It was awesome.
It smelled horrible.
Well,
That
actually,
does
the
sound.
cooking guy pointing to a pile of ash on the ground, he smelled horrible.
Both of those things sound like they smelled really bad. I wish
did.
I'd been here.
They were awful.
I kicked 2 people out of this ship, and did you see that big explosion?
I saw.
Yeah, I think the whole city saw that, or at least that's all of Gelspar did.
So
I was
do you
going
guys,
to try to catch you, but
I appreciate that. I really thought that I might die. But I didn't.
yes, me too.
Yeah, we were all pretty sure you were a goner.
Do you guys need a ride?
I don't
Actually,
know.
we need to stay here, and you need to go to Maddox's place in the span and get him and bring him back here with some guards.
And it's as you say that, Talon, that you all begin to notice in the sort of your peripheral view that another chain is beginning to fall as you hear the explosions rocking the links on the chain. The Gelspar does not list at all. However, that once that airship is done, it's beginning to move in your general direction of Starlight Commons as the other ones are still positioning themselves into place.
I have a wild idea.
I love it.
I know. This is why I'm glad you are back with the ship.
Oh no. Let me guess, we're gonna go take on that ship now.
No, leave that ship.
The big one
Please.
that's destroying the chains?
Yes, let it destroy the chains.
Okay.
Remember, the worm told me that Gelspar would fall. Now it will not fall into this darkness. It will fall away from its past darkness. What if we were to steal the glades from the main island and give it to Gelspar?
And do
Give a
what?
slum a forest that eats everyone that goes into it. That sounds delightful.
They sound like ballads.
What if we just take them both? And then
Squalor
we
and
can have
chaos?
a city and a forest.
Yeah, just feed the poor people to the forest.
Yeah, that's the forest.
That sounds...
That sounds exactly like what they did to my family.
And
It
then
sounds like you guys went in there on purpose.
We went farming for the main island. They did not tell us that the conditions were unsuitable.
Yeah, so why would you add more people to the unsuitable
I
forest
didn't
conditions?
tell him to.
Yeah.
I'm saying we should repurpose all of it. What, we're going to let Gelspar disconnect and float into...
I think that'd be better than attaching it to the eating forest. Yes?
No, I was on team don't disconnect Gelspar.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of that way too.
I feel that Gelspar has become connected to this place in more than just the chains. It can happen when you free people from the tyranny.
To starve off of the azure. That sounds even better. Okay, these people don't produce anything. Who's going to trade with them? We're going to get some bits of
What if
rag
we
and
give them
bone?
power to have their own trades?
What if we go get Maddox,
Stuff.
and then whatever happens after he pays us and takes my favor?
More coins. I
You
do
can
not
do whatever
understand
you
your
want.
logic.
The
Yeah,
problem is
I
I don't
don't
think he's, I
trade
don't
in
think he's going to get
forest
Maddox back
goods.
in time to prevent this thing from floating off. Is it, Johnny, is it just the one lead ship, or are there more of them like attacking the other chains, the remaining chains?
Oh, you're mute.
God damn it! There were 6 chains in my head that were attaching Gelspar to the rest of the islands. 3 of them are currently down, and so there are 5 airships in the air. 3 of them are still moving into position to take out the other chains. There's the one that's slowly beginning to make its descent as debris, with parts of it on the periphery beginning to fall faster. And then there are 2 airships, that have already done their job, with one of them moving directly towards you all at the center of Starlight Commons.
Yeah, see, that doesn't look good. I have a feeling that they're probably going to like blast the hearth crystal away, so this thing can fall away. They're determined to break the chains away, but that one coming directly towards us is probably going to blow the commons out of to hell and gone, taking us with it and blowing the crystal away, so Gelspar actually will fall. So
Right.
we have a quick make.
He's in a ship that like matches their ship.
No, it's
Red?
much smaller.
this is smaller, bro.
It's
No, it's-
small,
It's a tiny ship in comparison.
but
Imagine-
it's part of their fleet.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
it is true.
Are they aware that you have stolen their ship?
Not that I know of.
Then they still think we are on their side.
I'm still a bit confused about what the sides are, but politics.
Yeah, me too. Shh, they don't need to know this. Why don't we go up there and see if we can't take them down from the inside?
That sounds good. Nalos, you're an expert on politics. I think that seems good.
I'm down for
You
that
can
plan.
show them your coin or whatever it is you do.
Talon, what do you think? You know about stuff.
Well, the job isn't done unless we try to save Gelspar. So that's as good a shot as I think we have as anything else. Ramming it with this thing isn't going to do anything.
No, but they won't. Yeah, they do. They do not know we are on board. It is
Yep.
Trojan worm or something.
It's a Trojan worm. A story that you heard once upon a time
New lore.
about the Trojan worm.
Indeed.
Oh, I love it. I'm so in.
Give me that face, Mike, or I will smack it off of you.
Yeah, let's hit it. Let's just climb aboard the ship. Yep.
Red, I want to be clear. Pilot to the ship,
Yeah, not into it this time.
not into the ship.
Oh, don't worry now. Since I made you captain, things are going really well for me. I think it's working.
Perfect. That works. Great. Yeah,
all
no,
right.
I like this plan.
Yeah, Red will start piloting.
It's a great plan. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Plus, best case scenario, we steal a bigger ship.
Oh, that is a good case. I like that one. Can we do that one?
Yeah.
We can try.
So let me get this straight. The four of you pile into this, smaller ship, smaller than the Drake, and head off towards which one? The one that's heading towards you guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
Whatever
with that
was the
one,
bigger
we can actually take on one of the other ones, hopefully.
Correct. That's
Yep.
I
Whatever
does
the
not have
biggest
words
thing
for
is,
such
John.
plans, but that is her thought.
Is there a dreadnought flying? Can we go for that one?
Basically, it's a dreadnought, yes.
We got to stop the one that's coming right at us right now. So yeah.
Dreadnought it is.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to fade out and end this session as the four of you pile in and make your way heading towards this airship that is just, coming your direction. And that's where we'll fade to black.
Nice.
Yep. Perfect.
I dig it.
Perfect.
I dig it. Guys, that
That was
was
our Mission Impossible episode is next time. Dun, dun, dun.
Exactly.
the best part is Johnny said, guys, I'm taking it off book. And then he just messaged me and said, guys, you took it off of my off book. It's somewhere else entirely. Where did you go? I made a second book and you just made a third book. I have no idea what's in book 3
We're in
yet.
volume 4. Catch up, Johnny. Let's go. Good job.
I'm going to plan to book 6. All right, guys. What the fuck?
Why don't you just George R. R. Martin this shit and start killing our favorite NPCs?
Exactly.
I tried to. That was one of the guys.
It's true. He did try to kill Red.
And I really love that God only showed up when Red was alone. That's even better. So Talon's like, yeah, sure you did, buddy. Sure he showed up. Good for you. That's awesome.
That being said, guys,
hilarious.
this was episode 10 after the fall, and boy was it. So let's go around, do our introductions. We'll get the heck out of here and host a friend of ours of the show. So we'll start with the wonderful, magnanimous, amazing Sam. Sam, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I appreciate that introduction. That's very nice. I'm Sam, twitch.tv/WisnFool, Twitter @TheWisnFool. I had a blast tonight, as always. It was fun getting to show off some of the weird and wacky religious stuff that I've been working on with Johnny Vine.
Really cool.
Yeah, Johnny was like asking me about gods, and if you haven't been able to get the theme, like there's some like weirdness going on with the deities that are still around. The ones that are still around are maybe not the ones that you may necessarily want showing up.
Yeah, that's very true.
So so that should be fun. I'm sure that can only go well for Red in the future. I actually do have something to shout out this month. At the end of the month, I'm going to be recording a podcast with AP Gaming Real and some other folks where I'm going to be reprising a role where I play a Burning Wheel character that I played named the Prophet Sulius Aurelius, because the theme of the podcast is to be styled after an isekai-style anime, where we all get sucked into a video game anime world. And this is going to be delightful because this is like the least anime character I've ever played. Thrust into the anime world, so it should be just delightful. That is getting recorded at the end of the month and should be coming out pretty soon after that. So other than that, I'm on here on Tuesdays, and I have an absolute blast. So thanks, everyone, for coming out.
Sweet. I'm going to get Blackstar as a guest on that show.
Seriously.
With that, we're going to go jump over to the most aggressive druid anyone has ever seen, Cathbad, a.k.a. Dot. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I don't think she's quite aggressive, Mike. She's a little
Off her
poignant.
rocker?
She's poignant.
burning someone
Gets
alive
the
is
job
poignant.
done. Yeah.
An escaped mental patient.
We gotta talk about your definitions. I
She's a
think.
little fiery, maybe.
Wow.
Wow.
She's a little fiery.
Wow.
No, yeah, I'm Little Red Dot. I play a lot of tabletop RPGs on Twitch, on lots of awesome networks just like this one. So you can check out my schedule over on my Twitter, which is at little_red_dot. And everything that's not on somebody else's network goes up on my YouTube from my channel, where we do all kinds of fun things. So you can come check that out. I'm trying to think what's coming up. What's coming up this week? Oh man, there's so much stuff. I'm actually really excited. I'm going to be playing a new game that I've been dying to play. This Friday over on Grimjack's channel. We're going to be playing The Queen is Dead.
Oh,
Yes.
the king is dead.
No, not The King is Dead. It's something Queen something. It's put out by, yeah, it's a card-based game, kind of similar, but it's about a queen. It's an open storytelling game. I'm really excited. Grant and Grim are going to be with us on that, and I'm excited to just be a guest because I love those people.
Hell yeah,
so I'm really
awesome.
excited. So you can check me out Friday evening over on Grimjack's channel.
Fantastic. We'll jump over to John. John, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Hey, John Helvers, Radio Johnny Panda on here and on Twitter. Let's see, when I'm not here, I'm supposed to be doing Axia on Thursdays, which we'll pick up next Thursday for those who want to jump over to on Arvin Elrond's channel. But the IAB crew will be doing Curse of Strahd this Saturday as we plunge deeper into the nightmare that is Barovia and Ravenloft and Strahd and all that fun stuff. It's been a blast. And this one, of course, has always been a blast. Talon's happy because he got to kill someone, so it's all good.
Nice, nice. And last but always least, Johnny, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to? Love you. Muted. I'm sure whatever you're saying is awesome,
Silence!
but you're
Yes.
absolutely muted the entire time. Muted. So muted.
So
And we're done.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Guys, if you want to see more of Johnny, stick around for next season, because that's all I'm going to say. By the way, we are starting our next season in 3 weeks. So stick around for more sweet details about what's going on there. Also, March 30th, the last day of the month, I believe, right? That's how many days there are. Is the charity stream. That's not the last day. The second last day is the charity stream for March. We have broken $1,000 for the team. We hit $1,000 on the channel. We're doing a giveaway with Easy Roller Dice coming out soon, so check your Twitter bots for all that kind of fun stuff. That being said, if you guys want to support the channel, please go over to Patreon. It's the best way to support us and make sure we can keep doing this kind of thing. And we'd love to see you on our Discord, so join the conversation over there and inside the graveyard. And with that, we're going to go raid our lovely friend, the Bubbernot, because he is one of the greatest humans I know.
One of my favorite people in the world.
Right? I'm pretty sure he's playing some Pathfinder called the Mummy's Mask. If not, it's
Yes.
D&D called the Mummy's Mask. Either way, go give him all of your hot sticky raid love. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.